For centuries, tennis has belonged to the aristocracy. Perfect English grass, quiet crowds, and strict rules. So it's no surprise that the most beloved players are usually polite, classy, and respectful. The kind of people who play by the book and stick to tradition, acting more like diplomats than athletes. But what happens when someone shows up who doesn't care about any of that? Someone insanely talented, but bold enough to be different, even rude, just to do things his own way. Someone ready to challenge not just the sport, but its greatest champions. Someone who'd rather burn a bridge than shake a hand. This is the story of Nick Kyrgios and the explosive chaos he unleashed against Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic. Wimbledon 2014. Kyrgios has just turned 19, ranked 144, a wild card here, basically a tourist. Most people have no idea who Nick is, but they're about to find out. It's the biggest match of his young career. Center court should swallow him whole. Across the net, world number one, Rafael Nadal. But unlike most players his age, Kyrgios doesn't like Nadal. In fact, he hates him. Nadal is the golden boy, humble, hardworking, adored by the tennis world. And Nick, he's different. He's allergic to the whole hard work and discipline narrative. He wants to prove that you can have fun and still be at the top. So he walks out on center court like he's been there 100 times before, plays completely loose, smashing winners like it's just another practice session. And everything's landing in. The tennis world is in shock. Some unknown kid just took out Nadal in the fourth round, 3-1. Their next two meetings are on clay. Translation: Kyrgios is doomed. Nadal dominates him. The natural order restored. No drama, no shock, just Rafa being Rafa. But then, once again, he gets his moment. The hard court season. Cincinnati 2017, quarterfinals. Nick is back doing his thing, hitting tweeners, stepping way inside the baseline to attack Nadal's second serve, and casually dropping ridiculous drop shots like it's nothing. And it works. He takes the match 6-2, 7-5. Easy. 2 months later, the first real drama hits in the Beijing final. That's when the tension really shows. Ego, irritation, pride. One side hates the attitude. The other side hates the aura. Right from the start, Kyrgios gets into it with the umpire over a bad call. And from that moment on, he just can't pull himself together. Nadal, like a Spanish toreador, finishes the job 6-2, 6-1. The masks finally come off in the second round of Acapulco 2019. Nadal starts strong right from the jump. At 3-2, he gets his first breakpoint and nails it. First set goes to Nadal, 6-3. Kyrgios calls for a medical timeout. He looks exhausted, completely drained. Hungover rumors everywhere, and honestly, it fits the visual. Feels like he's about to quit, but somehow the match goes on. In the second set, no breaks so far. The score's 4-4, and Rafa gets 3 straight break points. This should be it, right? No way out. Or maybe there is. Nick fires off 3 winners and an ace to save the game. Then he takes the second set in a tie-break, 1 set all. In the third, Nick saves 5 break points. It's another tie-break. Nadal goes up 6-3, triple match point. He clenches his fist, showing how bad he wants it. At 6-4, Nadal says he's not ready. But Kyrgios serves anyway. The umpire steps in, says they've got to replay the point. The crowd starts booing, and Nick's losing it. And then, pure drama, the kind only sports can create. Nick rushes the net, clips the tape, and somehow wins the point. Then Rafa misses a backhand down the line. Nick saves another match point. And out of nowhere, Rafa double faults, then makes an unforced error. game over. Kyrgios takes it. He celebrates like he's just won a Grand Slam, screaming, arms up, staring straight at Nadal. The handshake is ice cold. Then Nick turns to the crowd, puts a finger to his ear, taunting them as the boos get louder. But it's not the win that grabs the headlines. It's everything that happens after. Nadal comes out and says Kyrgios is talented but lacks respect. Rafa's uncle, Tony Nadal, backs him up, calling Kyrgios uneducated. Nick doesn't stay quiet. He claps back on a podcast, calling Rafa salty, Tony an idiot. The lines are drawn, and nobody's pretending otherwise. But for Kyrgios, that still isn't enough. He feels the need to make his point even louder. He says Djokovic has a sick obsession with being liked, that his celebrations are cringe, and that no matter how many Grand Slams he wins, he'll never be the greatest. They haven't faced each other often in tournaments, but the hostility is still very real. Nick refuses to call him Novak. He calls him Joker, usually with a hint of sarcasm. And that 2-0 record against Djokovic just gives him even more confidence, that extra edge to talk trash. The bad boy of tennis is entering a new phase, an open war with two of the greatest players of all time. The chaos comes full circle, back to where it all began. Wimbledon against Nadal. It's 2019. Kyrgios is 24, at war with the whole world, and he's not planning to stop. He tries to mess with Nadal, hitting underarm serves, trying to get under his skin. But nothing works. Rafa takes the first set easily, 6-3. And then the drama begins. Nick starts arguing with the umpire, sarcastically calling him out for not giving Nadal a time violation. Still, Nick takes the second set. In the third, Nadal comes to the net and Kyrgios fires the ball straight at his body, full speed. No apology, no sorry like players usually do. The crowd gasps. Nadal is staring at Kyrgios. He's never been this pissed off. At Wimbledon, a place that worships tradition, where everyone's expected to be polite to the point of absurd, Nick just doesn't care. He's ready to cross every line. But Rafa's too big of a champion to let that kind of disrespect throw him off. From there, his win was never in question. He takes it 3-1. After the match, Kyrgios has zero plans to cool things down.
Why would I apologize? I mean, dude's got how many slams? How much money in the bank account? I think he can take a ball to the chest, bro. I'm not going to apologize to him at all.
Next stop, the 2020 Australian Open. From the very start, Kyrgios kicks things off with some provocation, mocking Nadal's pre-serve routine and little rituals. After 2 sets, it's 1-1, all square. Can Nick pull off another upset in front of his home crowd? Not this time. Rafa's just too good. He takes both tiebreaks and moves on. But at the end, something we've never seen between these two before. A warm handshake at the net, and for the first time, Kyrgios publicly shows respect for Nadal. And just when it seems like Nick's finally starting to get along with his fellow players, chaos hits again. During the pandemic, when all official tournaments are shut down, Djokovic decides to host his own exhibition event. He calls it the Adria Tour. Then, clips go viral of Novak partying shirtless in a nightclub, dancing and celebrating like everything's normal. And of course, as you can probably guess, within days, several players, including Djokovic himself, test positive for the virus. Kyrgios just can't let that slide. He tweets, "Don't mention me for anything I've done that's been called irresponsible or stupid. This takes the cake." He calls it a boneheaded decision and accuses Djokovic of putting people's lives at risk. 6 months later, Djokovic asks the Australian Open organizers to ease the quarantine restrictions for players. And of course, Kyrgios jumps on Twitter and writes, "Djokovic is a tool." Novak doesn't stay quiet for long. He fires back.
And my respect goes to him for the tennis he's playing. I think he's a very talented guy, and he's got a big game, and he has proven that he has a quality to beat any player really in the world in the past. Off the court, I don't have much respect for him, to be honest.
As expected, Nick's got a comeback ready.
Yeah, he's a very strange cat, Novak is. Heck of a tennis player, but I unfortunately, as someone that's partying with his shirt off during a global pandemic, I don't know if I can take any slack from that, man. Like, that's as bad as it gets for me.
But just when nobody sees it coming, the story takes a complete turn. January 2022, Australia. To enter the country, you need proof of vaccination, something Djokovic doesn't have. He tries to get in with a medical exemption, but they turn him down. So Djokovic gets moved to Melbourne's Park Hotel, a detention center for refugees and asylum seekers. It turns into a total visa mess, with approvals and cancellations going back and forth all week. In the end, Novak gets deported. And then, out of nowhere, Kyrgios speaks up. He says he's embarrassed by how it's all being handled. He stands by the person, not the noise. Soon after, Nick and Novak start messaging each other in private. And that's when what Kyrgios calls a weird romance begins. Their first chance to show the world that things are cool between them comes on the biggest stage possible, the Wimbledon final that same year. Kyrgios is playing the best tennis of his life and is coming into the match fired up. From the start, he's hitting huge. Aces, winners, pure confidence. First set goes to Nick Kyrgios, 6-4. But then Djokovic shifts gears. He locks in, uses all that experience, and takes control. In the end, he wins the match. Another Wimbledon title for Novak. And at the net, a warm handshake between tennis's newest, most unexpected bromance. They seal their friendship at the start of 2025, teaming up for doubles at the Brisbane tournament. In the meantime, Kyrgios plays and loses another wild match against Nadal in Indian Wells. And when the news of Nadal's retirement breaks in 2024, Nick surprisingly tweets, "Rafa, don't retire. I want to play with you one last time." So Kyrgios is one of those guys you either totally love or just can't stand. But you can't deny it. He's one of the most gifted players of his generation. A natural showman who made tennis louder, funnier, and less robotic. A player who could beat Nadal or Djokovic on a good day and lose to a qualifier on a bad one. He played for adrenaline, not legacy. He never committed. He could have been a champion. Instead, he became a story of what might have been. Was he a rebel without a cause? Probably, but he made the sport feel alive. He crossed the line a million times, yet behind the madness, there was a vulnerability, a man open about his mental battles who connected with fans because he felt real in a sport full of polished masks. You gotta respect that.